is up, you guys? Happy Tuesday. Happy Training Tuesday, and welcome to this live. This is a little bit different, a little bit special. We have Allyson joining on today from Estheticians in Business. She's going to go over client attraction, and I just love her. She's amazing. If you don't know me, I am Jen Goff here with you in Glow Boss Beauty Pros, and I am so cold today, which is crazy because I'm in California and it's like 70 degrees outside. But here we are. So I don't know what that's about. Kind of embarrassing. Okay, here's Allyson. She's hopping on. Let me see if I can get her so you can stop listening to me babble. Allyson is an esthetician and a marketing coach. So knowledgeable. There she is.
Hi.
Hi, Allyson. I'm so excited to have you here. And I was just telling everybody kind of a little bit about you and your background, being an esthetician, business owner, marketing coach. So I'll kind of let you take over and then I'll monitor and see if we have any questions coming up or anything like that. But I'm so excited you're here to talk about client attraction and all of the good stuff.
Well, thank you so much for having me in the first place. And thanks for that sweet introduction. I'm happy, to be honest, I'm happy this worked.
I know.
This live thing worked.
It was so easy.
It was actually really easy. I was like, oh, this is nice. And I'm also freezing. I'm in Alabama, like next to, like near the beach, and it is freezing outside. It was like 29 degrees yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't move here for this, but
you win.
Here we are.
You win. Yeah.
But hi everybody. So I am Allyson. If you guys see me looking over here, I have notes so I can stay on topic. Otherwise I will go everywhere. But I'm Allyson. I'm basically the person that helps you build a profitable business without feeling like you're going to lose your mind. I'm a business coach for solo estheticians. I'm a marketing coach. I was a solo esthetician for many years, and prior to that, I was in the skincare industry, and then I was actually in the military. But I have loads of different variations of experience and lots of education in all of this. And so today, we're going to really be talking about a few different topics, but a lot of it's going to have to do with like client acquisition. So like getting your clients, getting them to stay, doing things without feeling like you have to constantly discount yourself. And so I'm going to try to keep this between 15, 20 minutes-ish. But if you guys you hear something that you have questions about, please don't hesitate to put it in the chat. I run my Facebook group, Estheticians in Business, and so we talk a lot about client attraction. But all right, so
I just have to say that is the best Facebook group to be in too, Estheticians in Business. I'm fairly new, like a month over there probably, but you are dropping value like every single day. So I just had to say, like, I love it over there.
Oh, thanks. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely been something where I was like, I want a place where solo estheticians and like just people in our industry can go and just learn and not feel like it's just like, because some of these Facebook groups get wild. So I was trying not to make that happen, but thank you. I appreciate that. Which, by the way, guys, I do have a freebie for you. It's called like the Get Clients Now game plan. So I will put that in the comments after the live. But basically this kind of goes through a lot of those different things, and it tells you how to get clients, which is really nice. A lot of different places that you can actually get them. It's totally free. You just have to download it. So if you are somebody you feel like you are consistently posting, you're consistently trying to get clients and nothing is happening, we're going to be walking through like a roadmap together to figure that out, why maybe your books are slow, and that freebie is going to help you with that. So let's first start with my phone over here so I can see my notes better. Because I don't know about you, but I'm a note girly. If I don't have my notes, I'll go everywhere.
Big time.
So anyway, so let's talk about maybe why your clients aren't booking. And most estheticians are doing all the things. They're posting, they're showing up, they're trying to be consistent, but the bookings just really aren't matching the effort that they're putting in. And it can be extremely frustrating. So typically it happens because posts that people are posting aren't clear. Their messaging is way too broad. I say this all the time, but if you're talking to everyone, you're literally talking to no one. And that can be super, super frustrating because you're like, well, I want to work with everybody who has skin, but it's like, we gotta hone in on it, right? Necessarily not like niche, but sometimes it's too broad. People are like, oh, is this even for me? And in many times there's not a clear action. Like as humans, we like direction. And so if there's not something that's telling them to go this way or that way, to book with you, to DM you, it can be really overwhelming for them and people will just keep going. I know for me personally, if I don't have like oh, I do this next, I may not even do anything. So that is a big thing. So if someone lands on your page, are they able to see exactly what you do? That's like a big part of it, okay? So we're going to talk about 3 client drivers. Basically, this is the 3 things that help people actually become your clients, okay? So the first one is going to be your visibility. And a lot of the times we can feel like, okay, if we're visible, that means we have to be everywhere. And something I do teach to my students is, yeah, it's nice to be everywhere, but you have to be known in specific places. And also, it can be super overwhelming. Like, I know for me, I run my personal business on my own, right? So like if I'm everywhere, I'm really only kind of halfway in different places. And so you want to make sure that, yes, posting everywhere is helpful, but making sure that your messaging aligns with where you're posting or where you're showing up as well. And visibility isn't just about Instagram, guys. It's not, okay? I promise you, there's other places to get clients. But anyways, you want to be very intentional of where you're showing up. Be in the right places, like be seen by the right people. And the big thing is too, is like I said, there's more places that you can meet clients than just on Instagram and Facebook. That's actually something that's in that game plan freebie that I'm going to give you guys, because you got to think there's like events, there's networking, there's vendor events you can do. I mean, referrals, we always forget about referrals, but referrals, loads of ways you can have retention. There are so many ways that you can be more visible to your clients and just making sure that they know who you are, okay? Being super busy online is not the same as being super visible to your clients or to your potential clients, okay? So visibility is your number 1 client driver. Your number 2 client driver is going to be your messaging. Your messaging should be really speaking to one specific client with one specific problem, with one specific outcome, okay? Now, obviously, if you offer kind of variations of services, I get it, but kind of the more, I don't say the more niche, but the more that people know like what you're known for, the more likely they're going to go to you, right? So to give you an example, I have my husband, I see the plants behind me. My husband has decided to make my office like this plant sanctuary for my birthday. And it was really awesome. And we intentionally went to, sorry, you hear my dogs? Yeah. Somebody tried to knock at my door. But if, right, like this is the one time he decided to knock on my door. Let me shut that door. Anyways, if you intentionally are trying to find somebody who is good at something, right? And you want to go to that expert. When my husband did this plant stuff, he was like, let's go to like the place where they teach about plants, where it was like this plant boutique. And so we went there and she was like one specific thing of inside plants and she knew everything about it. And it was so helpful because I wasn't spending all this time Googling. I wasn't going to like Home Depot or Lowe's where they only do, you know, they may know some about plants. It was very like intentional and it wasn't like a vague situation, if that makes sense. So I'm so sorry if you guys can hear my dog barking. Somebody's decided to just knock at my door.
Lovely.
But
you're good.
But literally my dogs are like the most quiet dogs ever until someone knocks at my door. So it's like right now.
It's always,
I
know,
right
it's always
now?
like the worst time. But no, you can barely hear them. So you're fine.
Okay, cool. So sorry, team. But anyways, I want you to think when someone reads your content or someone has a conversation with you, that they know that you're serving a specific person, a specific problem, right? It's like when people become acne specialists, or when people become like wax specialists, where they're so good at, like, they can do a 15-minute Brazilian, like, you become known for those things. And so that's a huge client driver. So it's almost like Jen's a perfect, like, actually example of email marketing. Like, I have so many of my students to be like, I need help with email marketing. I'm like, oh, that's a no-brainer. I know exactly where you need to go for that. And so that's the same thing. When your clients are even referring you, they will know, like, okay, I can refer you to this person because she specifically does this. Okay. The idea is that when they choose to purchase or choose the book, that they're like, wow, this is like really for me based off of how you talk. And a big part of that too is using words that your clients will use. So for instance, my big thing was like, I have like a few degrees in this. So it was like very hard for me to switch off like degree verbiage and go back into like a layman's term kind of thing. So like, for instance, like, you don't want to say transdermal water loss, right? You'd want to say dehydrated skin kind of thing if you're an esthetician in that sense. So you want to make sure you're speaking to them directly. Now, number 3 of our client drivers is going to be the offer, okay? People don't necessarily just book a service, they book a solution that they're going to have. Mm-hmm. So like, what transformation are you expecting to give your clients? So whether that is like a smoother bikini line, or a perfect tan, or are you going to help them heal their acne, give them lashes that they don't have to, do mascara every day? Like, there's so many different things. But people are booking for solutions. There's an emotional attachment to that. So this is where your clients will be like, okay, this is literally made for me. And if your offer is super unclear, or it's just like kind of everywhere, or you have to be an esthetician or some other beauty professional to understand it, that's when people are like, if someone has to Google something, they're probably not going to do it. Okay. So if the path isn't super obvious, people are going to hesitate and they're not going to purchase. So just remember that confusion in any sense will just deter people from something. So if there's not like a direct path, a direct understanding, people are just not going to do it. Like, we live in a microwave society. So if there's a lot of steps, they're not going to do it, right? So let's talk about what actually moves the needle when it comes to like your books being slow. I would recommend, especially during this time of the year when sometimes it can be very slow, is focusing on like simplifying your life, right? Focus on one service or one outcome and then repeat that. Talk about that all the time. Talk about it with new clients. Really focus on retention, especially around this time of the year. Because a lot of the times people are so busy. Also, a big thing I've seen with a lot of my coaching students is getting feelings hurt when someone doesn't reply. This time of the year is really hard. If someone ghosts you, it's okay. It's not intentional majority of the time. And so you want to be able to follow up with them. Okay. This kind of way of just like repeating these things over and over and over again, still showing up when you have no one commenting, still showing up when you have no one like doing anything at all, is so, so, so important. Okay. Clarity on what you do and consistency is what's going to create momentum. So let's talk about really quickly how to create bookings without these discounts. Discounts can feel really fast. They can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting people in. But to be honest, you can sometimes train your clients to wait for discounts. Like, so often you'll have people that will create a big discount and they're like, oh, well, no one's booking. It's been a month. Well, let's do another discount. And those people were intentionally waiting for you to do a discount. I can't even imagine how many times my husband's like, Allyson, don't buy this. There's going to be a discount like next month. And I'm like, and I'm like, that's just not good. So a lot of times discounts can be really frustrating, and price cuts don't fix the positioning problem. And so that positioning problem is how people like relate to you, how you communicate about your business, how you communicate about your offers. All of those things are what people are going to choose, whether they're going to buy something for, wait for a discount because they only see it as a discount, or pay full price for it. And a lot of that is just that positioning, the transformation you provide, the outcomes. I had a mentor one time tell me, she was like, Allyson, you could literally sell the exact same product, one for $1,000, and you could sell the exact same product for $50. It all depends on your messaging. It all depends on what outcome people can envision themselves having. It all depends on like transformations that people have seen other people have. All those things are what are going to bring you the more money, okay? So creating bookings without discounts in this time of the year is once again going to be about retention. I would encourage you to text 3 to 5 of your past clients and just follow up with them. Be like, hey, I was thinking about you. Or you could even do something like, I have these spots available for the rest of the year. I was thinking about you. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Let's get you in. You could also, without offering a discount, you could always offer something that is of high value to them, but low cost to you. So that would be something like, I don't know, from the esthetician skincare point of view, that could be like a gua sha facial or a gua sha add-on. It literally costs you nothing, but like the oil and the gua sha stone you bought one time. You could do something like an extra bonus versus a discount, and basically word it in the sense of like, yeah, the first 5 people who book this or this time frame or during this week get this free add-on. And that way it may cost you like $2 to do the service, right? Mm-hmm. But for them, they're like, oh my gosh, I just saved like $50 if I come in this week. So there's a lot of retention options you can have. I would definitely not recommend doing like throwing just a random promotion around, especially this time of the year. People are so, I don't know, what's the word, like promotionalized right now. So not throwing another promotion around, but creating bookings without discounts is really in that follow-up. It is truly in that knowing that you can reach out to them. And then I would also encourage you to start looking at next year, right? Start looking at the beginning of the year. A lot of the times events, depending on where you live, are still happening in January, February, March, April. And getting plugged into like vendor events or getting plugged into networking events. Is there a Christmas networking event that you can go to? Maybe it doesn't get you a client right now, but you're building those relationships. And then I would highly recommend consistently posting on your stories of your availabilities, of like things that you've got going on, Christmas stuff, and then just stay consistent. Even when no one's posting or commenting, even when no one's liking, stay consistent with it, okay? So in a nutshell, that is kind of what the Get Clients Now game plan that I'm going to send you or you can download is going to have in it. Basically, it's going to help identify who you're marketing to, clarify what you can post and what you can promote, and focus on actions that actually lead to bookings, and stop guessing like what you can do daily. I think that's the big thing is a lot of people think, especially if you are like a solo entrepreneur, there are so many things that you could be doing in a day, but you have to know what is actually driving the clients, what is actually driving the things that actually make you money. And like reorganizing your skincare or your stock is not making you money. So we have to move to that. But this was really honestly our step 1. Our step 2, guys, is going to be in at the Estheticians in Business Facebook group. And Jen is going to be teaching obviously on email marketing and a lot of drivers that have to do with that. And I think the biggest thing I know for me for emails is it's consistent. Social media, I feel like, is so temporary. And that I know when I was a solo, having somebody helping me with email marketing would have been like top notch. Okay. Would have been so good. So Jen's gonna be walking us through that in the Esthetician Business Facebook group. So I'm super excited about that. But in reality, guys, client attraction is really step 1, getting them to see you. Retention and systems are what is going to create consistency. You don't necessarily need to do more. You just need to do it in a smarter, kind of more systemized and easier way. So that is my training for you guys today. I kept it in like 20 minutes. Look at me.
Hey, oh my gosh, it was so good. Allyson, you hit every single point that is so important. And first of all, I can't believe you're delivering all of this for free to us. And I'm so excited to catch your freebie or guide that you're going to drop here, the link below, hopefully in the Facebook group today. But like, yeah, the 3 client drivers you talked about: visibility, messaging, offer. And I love that you said simplify. So pick one thing and then talk about it over and over and over. Like, I try to drive this in all the time when I'm having conversations with beauty professionals. It's like, I know it feels so repetitive and you're like, gosh, everyone is probably so sick of hearing me say this, but I promise you they're not, because it's so loud out there and there's so many people. You don't know when someone is tapping in and hearing what, when, where. So it's like, it's one of those things that sounds really simple, but it can be really hard to actually implement. And so I think just being reminded of that is just really important. Also, the bonuses versus discounts, huge, and focusing on what drives the needle, what moves the needle forward and actually gets those bookings and clients through the door. That's another big one, right? So I loved everything that you talked about, like such value, and you're so knowledgeable. I will be putting this on our YouTube channel. And I know the replay lives here in the Facebook group for about 30 days, but Allyson is also dropping a freebie that's going to be so good in the comments below. So definitely grab that. And then, yeah, on Friday this week at the same time, 12 p.m. Is this 2 for you? 2?
Yeah, it's 2 o'clock.
2 p.m. We'll be in the Estheticians in Business Facebook group, which, again, you guys, I said, I love that Facebook group. Allyson's dropping such value. There's so many members in there that are also sharing and helping each other. It's a super supportive place. You do not have to be an esthetician. Is that right? You can have
no, you don't know.
Spray tan artists, makeup artists, lash artists, brows, whatever you are doing, cosmetologist, esthetician, you know, certification. Join Estheticians in Business because she is dropping such value like this for all beauty service-based businesses. And I'm so excited to be over there. I'm so excited for Friday. We'll be chatting about more of like part 2, which is the systems for email and client attraction and sending those newsletters. But this piece that you shared with us is so important. So I hope everybody gets to catch the replay if you were catching part of this or hopped in late. Because yeah, this was so good.
Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for everybody who was on, which I'm super excited for. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Allyson. And I'm going to see you Friday. So I'm excited.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Allyson. Thank you.
Bye.